Lamont is taking inventory of their commodities, and by commodities I mean junk, because that is something you do when you have a house full of crap and you're trying to sell it. Fred is doing what he does best, sitting, complaining, and insulting.
See, you got 20/20 vision and 0/0 brain.
Lamont, as usual, always points out his pop's laziness, because we all know men at 66 years old should be working 8-hour days. Perhaps Fred's been right all these years about Lamont being a big dummy. Next, we meet the sweatiest tax consultant in all of Watts. Seriously, has this guy ever heard of a towel? Calvin is here to discuss the Sanford's tax situation. Calvin needs to do just everyone a favor in Los Angeles and shave that dome. Fred and Calvin want to lie on their taxes.
Plus 10% of how much I lie about.
Lamont is like, "To hell with that. I don't want to meet JoJo Jackson in jail."
You put that down there and you're going to jail.
Then Calvin shows us where Axel Foley got his laugh from. Fred is fixing up his tax day special when Lamont comes home with a young Mr. Miyagi. And turns out Lamont got hurt in a sparring match with Miyagi. Up next, Calvin returns, and damn, does this guy ever shower. He has bad news about the Sanford's tax situation as well. Young Miyagi bounces, needing to fill his shift at Arnold's. Turns out the Sanfords owe the government, to the surprise of both of them.
Wait a minute. Between the two of us, we only make $7,000 a year. Now, how come we owe anything at all?
Calvin breaks it down and suggests a new strategy.
Now, I think it'd be a good idea if Lamont went out and got a job for 6-7 thou and give up the junk business.
Fred ain't having that and has had enough of this sweaty Caucasian persuasion in his house and throws him out.
You got it?
Clothes, case closed, Calvin. Get a dip, make a trip.
Unfortunately for the Sanfords, that's not the last time they will see Calvin. Lamont decides to find a job, despite what Fred says, and the police force might be the place to be. Because being a cop in Los Angeles in the 1970s was the time to join the force. And thank God Hoppy's in this one, showing at least some white people know how to take a shower. Lamont's seriously considering taking the job until Fred steps in.
Opportunity to retire early with a bullet in the lung of your choice.
The police force might not be the place for Lamont, but he has not given up finding a new job, despite what Fred says. Calvin returns, and good God, does this guy ever change clothes. Fred is depressed, so much he can't even spell clearance. Calvin shows us that he not only sucks at tax consulting, but also as a therapist as well.
Oh, how can you call yourself a failure? What you got? You got a point there, Fred.
Lamont starts his new job. Again, we see what a white guy can look like when he actually showers. That being said, Lamont's new boss is arrogant, ignorant, and an overall jackass with the salesman skills of Barney Fife. Fred goes undercover as Gerhard Popwell.
Pop? Yes, Gerhard Popwell. Everybody call me Pop for short. Now listen, I got some...
But as shown earlier, the manager is a racist piece of crap and insults Lamont. Pop is about to pop the bigot upside his head.
What did he say? Well, don't listen to him. He's new. He doesn't know anything. He's a little bit stupid.
That's all Fred needed to hear. Now he's about to go Apollo Creed on his ass. Lamont decides to step in and break up the fight. At the end, he decides there's no place like junk and returns to the business. And we are exactly where we started. Lamont doing all the work and Fred living the retirement life. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give a like, and if you haven't yet, give a subscribe from everything Sanford and Son.